again. I hate this thing.
Let's see. Are we going live? Are we finally live, guys? We might have
yes, we are live.
We might have like a double. We might have like a double.
Oh,
the new camera situation has like some extra buttons and some extra features that you have to hit some things. So it's a bit of a learning curve, but we will get there. But if you're new, this is your first time hanging out with ComicGains, which is probably not the case because it is New Year's Eve. We are ComicGains. And if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is the Princess Royal Highness, looking very low today, just like usual. Do the Princess wave, you do it too, bound and respect, and of course, there's the Coco.
The Comic Coco is here, guys.
Oh
I'm super excited for today. Today is awesome. We've got a new comic book day review from books that came out last Wednesday. That's our new show is that we review the books from last week. So there's going to be some light spoilers on them and some major spoilers. We'll see how that goes. It was a bit of a lighter week for us to pick up since these books came out last Wednesday, which happened to be Christmas Day. And I didn't get a chance to pick them up until Friday and then read them through the weekend. We also have the books to pick up tomorrow on the next new comic book day. Princess has her list for you. No list? She didn't make a list this week.
What?
Yeah, Zach's got your list of books to pick up.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we had like a no. Oh, because you think it's going to be closed? Ah. I was wondering that. So, the books you may need to pick up on Thursday. If you guys heard that, Princess was like, oh, there's going to be some books to pick up. And we do have BS time with Zach, buying smart, as he likes to call it. I like to call it BS. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It's the good stuff. Plus some major announcements, as well as, I thought we'd throw it in the top 10 best-selling books of 2024, according to Bleeding Cool. We'll see how that all pans out. But before we get into any of that, this was a bit of a rough week. Yeah. It was actually a pretty chill week.
Yeah.
Let's get thirsty.
Rough for the last couple of minutes trying to figure out this live stream, but I got here a drink here, Red Bull. This is my third energy drink of the day. I usually try not to do that
already.
Yeah, I made a mistake. But all of them were 0 calories, so.
If you got wings, would you cut them off?
Oh, that's peach.
Or keep them?
Is that peach? No, strawberry apricot. I was way off. That's pretty good. It's tasty. Thank you, Princess.
Apricot. The apricot or apricot? Apricot.
Apricot.
You know where it's never apricot? Hanging out with us on Whatnot. Every weekend, most of the time, Princess is on almost every weekend. She was even on earlier today. Zach and I are having a special 2025 kickoff show, so we will be on this weekend at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Princess will be on right after us at 6 p.m. We'll be just jumping right into her show. There'll be dollar starts. We do have a pretty major announcement. The ComicGains show will have a Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars 8 starting at $1. And if you look really closely at the label, it's a Mark Jeweler. So very, very hot book right now. Super close. That's pretty close.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah, it's a Mark Jeweler. We're going to have it starting at $1. I think it retails somewhere around like $400, even in like the 6.0 grade. So,
pretty hard to find.
Yeah, super, super hard to find. I think it's the only one I've ever seen. So come hang out. Bookmark our show. We'll have that as well as many other books. Princess will have her legendary polls as well as some other cool stuff. So it should be a really exciting weekend. See some other news announcement in case you guys did you guys see Jason Momoa got cast as Lobo? Excited about that?
Very cool.
Princess? Yeah, so they officially, although I felt like we already knew this, he officially got casted as Lobo for the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, good thing it wasn't in the Superman one because it would have been too much. But dang, we got a whole bunch of people in here though. Let me say hi to everybody before I get way off topic. Steve Sayer, first to the show. How's it going, brother? No jeans today. Las Cruces from New Mexico came to hang out with ComicGains. We got Magic in the house. How's it going, Victoria? Welcome in. Happy New Year. Nucktech making it out. Happy New Year, Nucktech, one of our great friends. Brian Smith, Happy New Year as well. Good to see you, Brian. Shadow 4T in the house. Happy New Year as well. I know some of you guys are going to be getting close to New Year by the time we finish the show. You know, if you're on the East Coast time, you might only have a couple hours left, depending on how long we go. We got we got Doomv in the house. How's it going, Doomv? Welcome in. Sir Rick, Happy New Year, Sir Rick. Good to see you as always. Scott Flat saying hello. Han Solo, welcome in, shooting first as always. Here we go. Nelvis Collects, good to see you, Nelvis. Princess was like, I haven't seen Nelvis in a little while. I was like, I see him always on the YouTube show. We always see Nelvis. Bobby, welcome in, Bobby. I heard you got your prize recently. Congratulations, Bobby. Wolverado, Happy New Year. And Bobby says, I'm built just like Jason Momoa, only with different proportions. I gotcha. Mark says Happy New Year as well. Emmy Comics in the house. Happy New Year's. Hopefully there'll be more people trickling in for the review. But yeah, it was a good week in comics. Quite a few good books out, and we got some cool spec stuff as well. So let me look at the list. We'll kick this right off. We got the top 10 best-selling comics of 2024. This is according to Bleeding Cool. And how they collect their data is based on like a whole list of comic book stores that supply them with their sales records. And it was quite a lot of books. So take this with like however you want to take it. It's not like hard facts, right? Because they're not getting their data directly from like Marvel, DC, Image, or whatever. So it's just from these stores. But it was a good amount of stores. So okay. I would say it's probably a decent number. You haven't looked at the list yet, right?
No.
So what would you say out of the top 5 books out of the top 10, how many do you think are Marvel?
At least 4 of them.
You think 4 out of the top 5?
Yeah.
It's only 1.
Oh, really?
It's only 1. You want to guess which one it is?
Absolute Batman?
Of the Marvel.
Oh.
1 Marvel book out of the top 5.
Yeah, that has to be Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah. You are right, Zach. But according to them, the number 1 book is Absolute Batman.
Oh.
Issue number 1 is the number 1 highest selling book of all time. Number 2 is Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. So that can be a little wishy-washy on that because I had read somewhere that Absolute Batman put out their numbers of however many they said. I can't remember what it was like. What did I say? It was 300,000 or something high. It was pretty high, 500,000. And then Marvel said like, yeah, Spider-Man did more than that. So those numbers could be flip-flop. Well, it's hard to say, because they're not getting, I guess, some direct sales. But number 3 was Absolute Superman number 1. That's interesting enough. Number 4, Absolute Batman number 2. So Batman making it twice on the list. Wow. And number 5 was Absolute Wonder Woman.
Oh my gosh.
Issue number 1. So all the new titles crushing out, rounding out the list. And I thought this was interesting and cool at the same time. Zach might appreciate this. But number 6 was X-Men number 1. Then you had number 7, Ultimate Spider-Man number 2. And then number 8 was Uncanny X-Men number 1. And then, so you have both of the X-Men titles. And then number 9 was Ultimate Spider-Man number 3. So kind of surprising that like you got all of the Absolute titles, but only one of the Ultimate. You didn't get like Ultimate X-Men or Ultimate Black Panther. So that was kind of surprising. And they said the one that may have made the list as like number 10, but may have actually been higher was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the reason that their numbers might be skewed is because a lot of people weren't buying like the cover A. Mm-hmm. So like these numbers are only based on one like particular cover, and because there were so many variants for TMNT, and then like myself, I actually bought the Eastman cover instead of the cover A. There's probably a lot of people did as well. Would kind of change whether or not people were going with that. So interesting,
very
right?
Cool, very cool.
Some interesting stuff.
Interesting, yes.
Marley Superdog, welcome in. Lame list, I know all the new. I actually like all those books, and I'm reading all those ones, so I think it's kind of a cool list. There's a different list on Key Collector of like the most expensive books of the year that came out, which is kind of similar. There's some extra ones in there. I know like the Twilight Avenger books were on there and stuff like that because of like the new characters and there's a bunch of like that new hot artist that's doing like the monster books that everyone's digging on. Those books are really expensive too.
Those things are cool.
I'm trying to think of that guy's name.
I don't.
Princess, no, she'll drop it in the chat. But I know those are the ones I'm like, man, I've totally forgot to get. I do like the artwork though. Oh, does she drop in? Oh, yeah, Mark Spears.
Oh, Mark Spears.
Yeah, so pretty good year in comics overall. I'm excited that like a book like Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 1 like hit highs of like $80. Although that's crazy, it is kind of cool at the same time. You know, like a standard comic that's not like a crazy variant comic. Mercer. Yeah. So you want to just dive right into the reviews?
Yeah, sure.
Dive right into them. Jump right in.
Yeah.
See if the water's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to go.
I got my drink back here. I'll have to move this one over.
Ah.
I'm only drinking a sparkling water though, just to stay hydrated. Can't, you know.
Stay woke.
Yeah, that too. I don't think sparkling water will help you get woke.
What?
What might though, no, I'm kidding, is this beautiful cover. This is Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 3. No particular order on this, but this was part of our thumbnail, so I thought this was like a cool one to talk about. This is written by Kelly Thompson.
Exactly, Coco.
And drawn by Hayden Sherman. This is the variant cover by the always awesome Ariel Diaz.
Ooh.
And I'm really starting to dig these DC books where like the inside cover is still like the original cover. So like I don't feel like I'm missing anything because you can like open up the book and you can still see the original cover inside. Right? I don't know. I get that feeling of loss where I get the variant cover and then I'm like, oh, I don't have the original cover anymore. So this is like kind of a nice situation with this one. Anyway, for me, I've been a little bit light on Absolute Wonder Woman as like my least favorite of the 3 Absolute titles, but this one took a huge leap forward for me as like a big, I really like issue 3 a lot more than the other 2 issues. Probably because there's like this weird part of like Absolute Wonder Woman where she's kind of like, you're getting this origin story for her, like where she came from and what's going on. And she's also thrown into like this huge battle that's like these big creatures are attacking the city. And it's sort of, I think the weight of that battle doesn't make sense because we're only 3 issues in and she's already like battling these crazy monsters defending the city. And you don't really like understand the character that well. At least for me, there's a secret to it.
So is it the city like in the real world or is it the city in hell?
Yeah, real. That's the weird part. It's a real city, like gateway city.
Okay.
And it's like she's defending it from like these giant monsters. And like while this is happening, they're like flashing back. So you're like, okay, here's like her with like her adopted mother Cersei. You know, who's that like kind of like not wizard, like magic using character that's also like an Amazon at the same time. Which the flashbacks give the character like more meaning, but the battle that she's in is sort of strange to me, like at the same time. If that makes any sense. Well, it's like seeing like this giant Helm's Deep battle, but at the beginning of like Lord of the Rings instead of like giving it any like weight.
Oh, okay,
you know what I mean? They're like, and then like flashing back and being like, here's the stuff that led up to that. So it's good. This one, the more backstory I get in here, the more like it has more weight and it's cool. There's a really fun like kaiju character that they introduced. It's literally the size of a kaiju called the Tetracide, who's like attacking the city and is like uber powerful. Mm-hmm. And is like she tells like the city people like, hey, everyone needs to go because it's gonna make this magic song, and then you guys will all be drawn to it, and then you'll kill yourselves. And she's like, I'm probably not powerful enough to defeat this thing, so it's more than likely gonna like kill me, but I'll sacrifice myself to like help all you guys. And you get to see some cool stuff, like she pulls out like a big old axe, which is fun, and then she also has her sword, so she's like hacking at this thing, and the kaiju has like tentacles and stuff that are like grabbing at her. And you get some more flashbacks, so you get more of Steve Trevor while he's in hell with her and living with her and Cersei, and they're like trying to figure out how he can get back to man's world. And so like she finds a spell book and is like, okay, I found a sacrificing spell that can like help him get back to man's world. And then Cersei looks at it and she's like, that's probably not a good idea. Like, I don't think you understand what you're going to be sacrificing. And she's like, it'll be worth it. And then like you see like flash later, and she's like sitting there like, okay, I did the spell. And then you're like, what did she sacrifice? And then like her arm is like laying on the ground in front of her, like she cut her own arm off. So like, and it got him transported back. And then when you see her, like it flips back to where she's fighting like the creature, and it like wraps its tentacle like around her arm. Then she like gives up her arm to like to get away, and then you realize like her arm's fake. So like she like the whole time she has two arms, but one of her arm is like a fake magical arm that like Cersei created for her, and she's like she can't really like get it back super easy. So then she puts on like a robot arm, kind of like that, you know, like Furiosa. So she puts on like a cool robot.
I have your queen.
Yeah, Furiosa. So she puts on this cool like magical arm or robot arm, and then she like finishes out at least the story like so far. So she doesn't like defeat the big kaiju creature, but she's like, okay, I'm going back into battle. They do a cool thing at the end where you get introduced to a character named Barbara Minerva, and she like has some information that they may need. And if you recall who Barbara Minerva is,
the cheater. No, the cheetah.
The cheetah. So they've kind of like, and they giving. She seems like she might be more on like the good side, like maybe helping the people out. So Coco does say Happy New Year. Yeah, she's getting excited with like the New Year. There's like some stuff going on around like the house, and so she's getting really excited. But a cool book. Like I said, I was kind of light on Wonder Woman. I'm digging this story a bit more. It was weird to have her arm cut off though. You know?
Yeah, it is kind of.
And like the robot arm was like skinny, like that Furiosa arm. You know, like how like it's not like all thick and bulgy. It's just like some pipes.
She needs to go to a mechanic. Maybe help her get a hand.
Well, I think she can get back the magic hand, but she needs someone to like cast the magic spell.
Hopefully it's not. Anyways, yeah, exactly.
Right,
exactly.
Right? All right. So cool book. I'm digging it, guys. Next up, we've got Ultimate Black Panther issue number 11. We've been covering the Ultimate Universe since the beginning. It's been over a year now, guys, since the Ultimate Universe has come, or right at the end of the year of the Ultimate Universe. We've been covering every issue. So if you want a more in-depth on the Ultimate Universe, check out some of our old Wednesday videos. Zach goes hard.
Yes.
On the Ultimate Universe.
Next scene.
Okay. This is written by Brian Hill, who's been doing it the entire time. Stefano Caselli normally draws the book, but he's been off sometimes. He did this beautiful cover that Stefano Caselli did, but they had Carlos Nito did the interiors, which he's done the interiors a couple times. I don't like him as much as Stefano Caselli. I will tell you this book is a bit of a lie because as you can see, the female character on the cover is that new Sorcerer Supreme character, you know, that we've been introduced to that's supposed to help them out. She's not in this book at all. So I'm like, why did they put her on the cover?
I mean, they could have at least made her a little bit more pretty. Like, sex her up a little bit. Come on. If she's not...
Sex her up?
You know what J. Scott Campbell does? You can see a little bit of boob. That's not enough. That's not the right...
That's not the only reason why you buy comics.
I'm just saying, you put a lady on the cover, might as well just sex her up a little bit. Well, no, that's sexist. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's not misogynist at all.
I'm just saying it would probably sell more books.
See where Zach's
wow.
But
the thing is, that's what Campbell does. Like, he puts characters on covers that aren't even in the book.
That's why they don't let him draw cover A's anymore.
Oh. Wow.
But on a different note, hey Lon, how's it going? Hashtag not enough.
Not enough. Yes.
It was a good story. This one's a little bit it kind of like Ultimate Black Panther kind of goes back and forth. There's a cool mystery to this on like what vibranium really is, what that mystery ingredient is, that green orb. I still think like the other characters are more interesting than Black Panther himself, which maybe that's how the original was always written. Like Shuri and Okoye are like super interesting, and Black Panther's just kind of along for the ride. You know, T'Challa like doesn't seem like he's the main character of his own story, but Shuri is kind of like front running this book, and they have like the Moon Knight army comes to attack, and they challenge T'Challa to a battle, and like they think he's gonna show up, but Shuri shows up instead, and she's like, you know, like whether or not she's gonna fight them or not. And the Moon Knight guy, you know, like the like not. I think like it's not actually Moon Knight, but
no,
you know, the other like
there's Ra,
and then Khonshu. Yeah, he's like, well, I'll tell you what, we can settle this in a 1v1 competition. So like, if Black Panther has the guts to come out and fight me one at a time for like basically Africa, who decides who rules it? If he's got the guts to do that, let's see if he wants to come out. And it's like the discussion whether or not like he should. It's kind of similar like in the movie where he does like that one-on-one thing, decide who's going to be king. You know, like where but they didn't say anything about taking away anybody's powers or nothing like that. But there is, I don't remember. I guess he got stabbed by a sword at a certain point, so he's not all the way 100% healthy. Which I kind of remember that, but I was like, okay, because they kind of bounce back and forth because between like the other characters like Storm and Killmonger doing their thing, and then this one, even though they were not in this book at all. And then they allude to the fact that like vibranium might be alive, whether it's like an alien creature from another planet, because obviously like crash landed there on a meteor, so it like could be an alien from another planet, and like what is like vibranium's like real intentions with the people. So
yeah,
not bad. Just I don't know. We haven't still got any more answers, right? Yeah. Kenneth Bird, what's up? Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Any thoughts? I know you were reading the first bit, but
yeah, reading the first bit. It seems kind of crazy. Like, let's fight over Africa. Well, T'Challa only controls Wakanda, so
yeah. And I think that's the point. Is like
it's kind of strange.
They're saying like he just like you know like he only focused on his little area, and he kind of let the other rest of Africa go to crap. And like they're coming in and like offering people like a better life, and he's like, wait, but they're like secretly bad. But they're like figuring out a way to like help these other people. And they're like, maybe we should be doing more to like help everybody else besides like our own smaller country to like make things better. Yeah. You know? And that's kind of like where I feel like, I don't know if he's going to end up being like the good guy at the end of the story. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's like Killmonger and Storm are going to end up being like the heroes of the story.
Yeah.
Cause he's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I mean, it's not the same thing, but it'd be like as if California and Texas decides that they're gonna fight, and whoever wins takes over the rest of America.
Yeah,
it kind of.
I don't know if they necessarily meant all of Africa, but at least like that portion of
that portion.
You know, they were like, we're in charge of everything now. I think it was like, who's gonna be like watching over?
We don't have to say what the heck.
I see what you're saying. Not quite to that.
Not quite the same thing, but it's like that's what.
I could see that's where you thought I was. Yeah, not quite that.
Not quite.
Not quite that. All right. Next up, let's switch over. We got Image, and we got Void Rivals, issue number 15. We're all the way to 15 already. That's crazy. Great cover on this one. This is Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo de Lafici. I always want to say it. Let's Felici. I almost said the other word.
Like Guardia?
I don't know what. But great story, guys. This is all connected. This is the anchor to the Energon universe. It's connecting a lot of the stories together. They do have their own two characters that are kind of running the story on this as well. They're not Romeo and Juliet. This, like all Robert Kirkman stories, they're very short. I mean, the books, not the story, but the comic itself are pretty short. And it's still very good, but there is a lot of plots going on at one time, so it is sometimes hard to follow, and I agree with that as well. But you get to see Hot Rod again, who's the Transformer on the cover. He gets also introduces to another Transformer, Springer, which I'm not quite sure I remember, but they land on one of the planets of the Void Rivals, which I think is Agoria was the name of that planet, and they're talking to one of the guys there, and they're like, hey, we're going to help you out with your stuff going on. And the cool part about this issue is they do allude to like that ruby that's in their heads. So all of not the Transformers, but the two Void Rival characters both have like gems in their heads, and they all wear helmets, so they don't get to see that they all have the gem. That's actually Energon. Oh. So I don't know where that's going to lead to in the future, whether or not like those people were created or somehow they're connected to the Transformers because they're, I guess, made out of Energon at the same time. So
it's like people looking.
Hey, Taylor.
So it's like they look like regular people, but they have Energon in their forehead.
Yeah, like a ruby. And it's weird though. They all wear masks not when they're with each other. So if they're like on their own planet, they don't have a mask on so they can see each other. But the big deal is when the two rivals, when they got together and fought and they ended up taking off their helmets, they looked the same. So it's like they hated each other for their differences. And then when they like took off their helmets, like, hey, you look like me underneath there.
Are they like minions?
No, they look like humans. Yeah.
But they have, at this time, they have no connection with Transformers?
I mean, they've run into them now. It doesn't seem like they did, but they like explained to them like, hey, you have like Energon. That ruby in your head's like Energon. So I don't know like where that's, gonna like lead to down the road. But
well, it kind of seems like maybe that's what they're implying, that's the origin of Energon. Maybe because maybe it's growing from these people, and it'd be kind of messed up.
There was a weird thing in Transformers 2 where like one of the guys like Optimus was gonna die, and like a human like went into that thing in his chest and like died, and like re-gave him some Energon from his person, and everyone was like, "That's never happened before," but okay, we'll roll with that.
What the?
Yeah,
Autobots are great.
Yeah. So the other thing too is they brought back, so there's two characters named Cobra La and Python, which I'm not as familiar with, but they, like I said, there's 5 different plots going on just within this book alone.
Dang.
It's a little, sometimes can be hard to follow. So yeah, I'm not like
I can see that
as pumped all the time with it. Like I'd rather have there be like 1, maybe 2, but 5 can be a lot.
Right. Especially when you got some guys walking around and gals walking around with Energon in their forehead.
Right?
Trying to figure out what they're all about.
Like, what is this all about?
What's
an Energon conduit.
Basil?
Oh, they were definitely created by a Prime. Okay, Sir Rick's got it. Okay, so he's in
the Prime.
They were created by a Prime. So a Prime like Optimus Prime.
Wait.
That's a title.
Oh, you don't mean the guys that created the energy drink Prime?
Prime. No, not that was Prime.
Oh, or is it hydration drink? I still don't know.
Angel, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Oh, it's an Energon conduit. Okay. So maybe they like can get
Happy New Year.
We'll see where it goes. Yeah. I'm not dropping the story. I'm too invested now. I'm like the Charles Schwab of the Energon universe.
I need to figure out who the Crystal Skulls are.
Right? One of my favorite books to read, and probably not high on everybody's list, is Spider-Boy. We got issue 14. I think this is just regular cover A. Dan Slott and Paco Medina drew this one. There is a guest artist in this as well. It's Humberto Ramos. So I was happy about that. Oh, they drew it together. So they took turns drawing. It's a Paco Medina cover though. And this is cool. We're in the middle of the Dragons Challenge. And I feel like Zach would really like this. It's very anime-ish type story where Daredevil and Spider-Boy traveled over to Asia, and they entered in a challenge that's called the Dragons Challenge, where you and a kid get to fight another guy and a kid to death. I don't know, they don't fight to death, but they fight until like you're like incapacitated. In order so they're chasing after Bullseye and Spider-Girl, and they got one of those dragon claws teeth, and they entered in the challenge. In order for Spider-Boy and Daredevil to enter in the challenge, they had to go and steal one from someone else who was entering, and one of the people was like this E Honda looking type character, and Hulklet. So you remember Hulklet's going to be one of those Hulkette. I keep wanting to say Hulkette. She's a new character that's just coming out. She's going to be a member of like the Champions.
Okay.
And so she's in this. They steal it from her. They enter in this like tournament, sort of like you fight this guy, you move on to the next level, you fight that guy. And it's cool. It's fun. He has to deal with like his mom also wondering like where he is. And he's like, don't worry, Mr. Daredevil's taking care of me like in this strange country while we're fighting like other people and their kids. And
all right, Batman.
Yeah, there's a fun stuff. The cool part about this is that during this, they introduced that Spider-Girl is an older character that he used to know called Funhouse, which is a terrible name, but
yeah, usually get a name like that on the streets,
right? Funhouse. But the cool thing is when they do the flashback, the flashback is drawn by Humberto Ramos, which I think drew the earlier issues of Spider-Boy. So I think that's cool that they brought him back for the flashback. Funhouse was like this character, I guess, that dressed like a clown, and her real ability is not that she is a spider type character, is that she can copy other people's abilities, but in a distorted manner. So like, do you know how like when you're at a fun house and you look in a fun house mirror and it's like a copy of you, but it's like messed up, like you're like squatty, or like you're like, you know, like your arms are really long. So like when she copies somebody's powers, they like become like a distorted version of it, which is kind of cool. It's a, you know, like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but is it like is it like altered powers, or do you just look kind of like strange?
No, like altered powers. Yeah.
So if you copied Iceman's powers,
Yeah.
you might have like, you know, like geyser powers.
Yeah,
or like,
maybe. Yeah.
Or like steam power.
Yeah.
The steam power.
They show her. I can't remember. They were like, she was like, he was with Kamala Khan when they were like fighting her together, and she like copied Kamala's powers, and then like her arms got all long and like grabby and stuff like that, and then there was like this like dinosaur type creature next to them, and then she's like, oh, I'm gonna copy you too. So then her like arms started to like turn into like scales and things like that, while they were like long and grabby like Kamala's powers. So it's kind of cool. The champions, yeah, I'm excited for the champions when they come out. So it's interesting. She's also like a villain, so it's cool that she's like this kid, like really sassy type. I really like Spider Boy. I don't know why. I may be the only one.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, he has good shoes. Like another, like
does have good shoes,
right? He's one of the ones that have the shoes.
Yeah, he's got the shoes. Spider Girl has shoes too. So check it out. Check it out, guys. Next up, I don't have as many books to review today, so it should be pretty chill. But next up, we got Amazing Spider-Man issue number 64. This is the 8 deaths of Spider-Man series that is kicked off right now. I think we're into the 4th death, 4th death. I think this is the 4th death. 4th time he's died. Don't forget, guys, this is the Scotty Young covers. While I'm collecting all this, he did a really good job on each cover with the artwork, and they have a fun little like headstone on the Scotty Young ones that has like the number etched into it on how many deaths have happened so far.
Easy.
Princess might be upset to learn there is a Bengus cover for this book as well, which we forgot to order. Well, Spider-Man. So, and on that note, we do. We'll talk about, as soon as this book's over, we'll talk about the Bengus covers. So she's probably like, man, you have to check your work, see if they got that cover out there, because it's a fun Spider-Man Bengus cover. But this original story was written by Joe Kelly for the first 2 issues, but last issue was taken over by Justine Ireland, who did a fantastic job. A lot of people are praising her work from the last issue, reading all over online that everyone really liked how she wrote the character. She wrote it again. I will say it was really good as well. Gleb Melikov drew this issue, so they don't even have the regular artist as well. I think Ed McGuinness still drew the cover, but the interiors are drawn by Gleb. I think he does a good job. I will say Spider-Man looks really, really cool in it. Like, he's really good at drawing Spider-Man, especially with that new costume. I think he looks really dope. Like, he has kind of like that red like scarf type wrapping. It's like sort of like a Sorcerer Supreme type thing, so it kind of flows off him like a cape. So it's kind of fun that like it looks like Spider-Man has a cape. But there's some fun facts you learn. So in this 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, you have the Sidorak, you know, that god that like is always messing with Doctor Strange. You learn that there's like an everlasting battle that whoever the Sorcerer Supreme is has to fight Sidorak and his children in order to like protect the Earth. And we didn't realize that Doctor Strange has been doing this the whole time. Now he's no longer the Sorcerer Supreme, so Doctor Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme. He obviously doesn't want to do this fight, so he entrusted Spider-Man to take care of it. Each child of Sidorak he's gone up against, he has defeated them, but he has also died. And I guess it's incredibly painful. I'm sure it is. But like when he dies, it sucks real bad, and he hates it. And he's explaining to Doctor Strange in the beginning, who's in a corporeal form, like floating, that like, he's like, dude, it sucks really bad when you die. And he's like, yeah, I know. It happens to me a lot, but you get over it. Like, deal with it. And he's like, but it really sucks. And like, I think he's getting a little like PTSD from like, he's already been killed 3 times. There's these magic reeds that bring him back to life each time. And he has 8 of them, 1 for each death. And
who reads them?
they'll read like I don't know, yeah, like a read, like you know, like a read kind of thing. But I see what you're saying. Who reads them? But they explain a little bit more where it's strange that Doctor Strange. I guess I didn't see this the first time. He explains to them that he has to die each time. It's like each time he faces somebody, he has to die in order to complete the covenant that he has with the deal. And if it breaks, then they'll break the casket. And I'm not quite sure. It's kind of the mystery behind it. Like what happens if like it doesn't like work properly? You know, like if he doesn't defeat the child of Sidorak, or he doesn't die, I guess it breaks the deal in some form. But this one, he meets up with twins. So Sidorak has two twins, and they're drawn really cool too. I think they look really fun. And
male twins or
one male, one female, and they don't seem to get along super well. So when Spider-Man like kind of tracks them down, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna challenge you instead of like you finding me and screwing up my life." And Justine does a good job, so that while all this is going on, you're getting like some good Peter Parker story. Like Peter Parker's out there doing some errands for Aunt May, and for some reason she still doesn't know that he's Spider-Man. I feel like they should just get that over with. Yeah. I thought she did before, but apparently she doesn't now. And he's dealing with like his friends, like Robbie Robertson, who is like his roommate again, and then his new girlfriend Shay, who is like becoming more like flushed out. Like you're getting to understand who she is a little bit more, and she's interesting. I don't know if something's gonna come up with her later, where maybe she's like evil or something like that, but nothing so far. She's just like telling Aunt May like, how come Peter never shows up on time, or he's always disappearing? You know, standard Peter Parker stuff. But it's good to like sometimes get back to the roots of Peter Parker.
How well do they know each other?
Pretty well. She's been around for like quite a few issues now. Not like super well, but there was like that one where they went on this like pretty serious date where she was like, "Hey, if you don't get your act together, I'm not gonna like date you anymore." And he's like, "Oh, I really like you." And she has like a different look. She's like dark brown hair, a little bit tanner skin, like a much different look than like Gwen or Mary Jane. So
not a redhead or not a brunette.
No.
Or not a blonde. Okay.
No, yeah, so a completely different look.
Interesting.
But obviously hot, so you know, Peter's not gonna date no slouch.
Yeah.
Of course.
I go with Black Cat, honestly.
But yeah. So it's cool. The big thing with this issue compared to the other ones, which I've been like, obviously he's going to die each issue because there's the 8 deaths of Spider-Man. Guess what? He did not die in this issue. So I don't know what that means leading forward. He only beat one of the twins too. So they're leaving the other twin for the next issue. So interesting enough, they finally wrote it into not dying. I don't know if Justina Ireland is going to be writing all of them, but I'd be happy with it. I don't think she's taking over in the future, but if they get enough people giving her the thumbs up, I think she's doing a good job with the story. Oh, we got Trace. Welcome in, Trace. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. But on that note, the Bangus cover did come out for Spider-Man, and Princess brought this to our attention as well as a couple other people. The Bangus covers are the new Capcom versus Marvel covers, and they're drawn by a like famous like anime / video game artist. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple been out so far, but as you guys know, years back they did the hip hop covers, and I believe when those came out, people kind of brushed it off as whatever, you know, like a lot of people weren't buying them. And the real variants that came out like through Marvel, you know, like not from like an exclusive. Yeah. And now like all these people are wanting them and wanting to collect them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are saying this could be like the next version of that. So if you're interested in collecting things like that, Princess thinks this is a really good idea. So
yeah, they look really good.
If she's wrong, though, yell at her, not at me, because I didn't do that.
Gotta collect them all.
She's like, no one's gonna yell at the princess. Probably not. Probably not. But they're really cool. I was kind of like, I wasn't sure about them at first, and then I saw the Doom one. I'm like, this is really cool. And then like the Psylocke one's really nice. The Spider-Man one's really cool too. I think we might be missing a couple, maybe one or two other ones.
Oops.
I'll try to keep a closer eye on it. Definitely if there's a Mr. Fantastic. I know how much you like him.
Stretchy.
All right, let's keep going. Speaking of, we just saw the X-Men one, which that is the variant cover for X-Men 9. So that goes along with that one. So there was actually 2 that came out this week. We got regular X-Men, so non-adjective X-Men.
Non-adjective. Like,
Yeah.
not uncanny.
Not uncanny, just your regular
or
X-Men.
astonishing.
Exactly.
Is that
Can you think of any other
adjectives? No.
Sensational?
Ah! Exceptional.
I did exceptional.
Sensational.
I think there is exceptional X-Men right now. But this is the regular one. It is written by Jed MacKay and drawn by Ryan Stegman, who did the cover. This is the regular cover. I actually thought this was a cool one. Very original with the Wolverine claws with Psylocke in the front. However, there's a guest artist who does half of the book, and it's Federico Vincentini, which is interesting when you're reading the book because it doesn't really have a rhyme or reason why they have two different artists. Although Federico is awesome. He's the current artist for the Miles Morales book. I absolutely love his artwork, and he does a really good job on this one. And there's a weird part. Like, Federico draws like the first portion of the book, and then it switches to Ryan Stegman. And then there's like Ryan's a really good artist. And I really love his stuff, but there's a couple of panels that are super janky. And I was like, maybe there's a reason why they were like, maybe he ran out of time. And then they were like, hey, can you like finish these real quick? They definitely have he didn't try to match Ryan's artwork at all. He's like, I'm just doing it my way, you know? So it's like a clear difference between the two, which is it just, I don't know. You know, it's a weird notice. But this is the raid on Grey Malin, part 3 of 4. And it's a cool crossover. They're just doing between the two X-Men titles, Uncanny and the regular one. So this is the third one. And we got introduced recently to the main villain, which is Corina Ellis. I'm not sure if she's an older character or not. But he's like, oh yeah, at the quiet one. I don't know if she's an older character, but she's the one that turned the mansion into the Grey Malin prison, where she has a bunch of people there that are like in her like she hates mutants and she wants to keep them in jail. And the mystery is like they kidnap some of their people. So like Beast is like from Cyclops' team, and then she has like Jubilee, who's from Rogue's team. And in the last issue, there's like 2 different X-Men teams, and they get along, but they don't get along. They're like not super friends with each other. They don't hate each other, but one of the teams, like Cyclops, is like, don't show up, Rogue. We're going to take care of this. And Rogue's like, they have our people. We're coming to get them. And then when they meet up to get there, they end up fighting each other. And then the Grey Malin has some mutant prisoners that they make fight for them. So they have like the Blob come out, of course, and like Siren. I don't know why they have Siren, but they then fight them. And there's some cool stuff going on where they're like really interested in freeing this inmate X. They keep calling it like inmate X, and everyone's convinced that it's Charles. They're like, Charles is definitely inmate X. We need to release him. And it's kind of crazy because Cyclops is like, it tells Rogue like, screw that guy. We're not releasing Professor X. I don't like him anymore. He has his mission for mutants, and I'm tired of it. And if he's released, then we're all going to go back to the mission, which I thought was kind of crazy. And they were like, no, we need to release him. During the fight, Psylocke and Nightcrawler get separated from the team. And they're technically on separate teams, but they get separated together. And they run across Professor X by accident. And when he leads them back, he has like this evil look in his face where he kind of looks like evil, where maybe he is a bad guy, you know? He has those crazy eyebrows anyways. But like maybe he's like more evil than we thought. And then when they look over, they're like, okay, well, there's Professor X. And then they're all like in front of the door for inmate X. And then they're all like looking at each other like, if he's here, who's in there? You know, like who's inmate X? And that's kind of like bookend. So I'm like, who is in there?
Legion.
That'd be cool. Deadpool could be in there.
Deadpool? I said Legion.
I know, but Deadpool could be.
It could be.
I doubt.
He'd be like,
but there's a strange bald guy who's working for the bad guys, Corina Ellis, and he looks exactly like Zat. No, he apparently has some kind of powerful mental ability where he's actually able to stop Professor Charles Xavier from using his powers. And I'm not sure who this guy is either, but it's strange because Federico drew him in this book, and he looks exactly like he just drew the Vulture. So it looks exactly like the Vulture. Coco knows. Can you make Coco do some tricks?
I can float.
The return of Onslaught. Maybe. Oh, that'd be cool. And it's definitely not Magneto in there because they have Magneto's on Cyclops' team. Although he's like I think he's in a wheelchair. And he may or may not have powers. I can't remember. Oh, my nose feels very runny.
Could be Emma Frost.
Yeah.
In fishnets.
Should be. I don't think she's on either. No, she's on a different team.
Oh.
She's on the team with Kamala, I think.
Oh my
Her and Kamala hanging out. Her and Kamala hanging out. We got 2 more books left, guys. Let's talk about Moon Knight, The Fist of Khonshu, issue number 3.
2025.
It's not 2025 yet?
Somewhere it is.
Well, not in the United States. 3 hours.
Ah.
Yeah, 3 hours. So this is issue number 3. As you guys know, Moon Knight has restarted its numbers a couple of times. They have kept the same creative team the entire time until today.
Mm-hmm.
So Jed MacKay is still writing the story. So you're still going to get the great story of Jed MacKay, but it has been taken over by Domenico Carbone is the new artist. And the old artist Cappuccio was fantastic. And as much as everyone likes to say Jed was maybe the reason that Moon Knight is so popular right now, and this is like the best run he's ever had, that could be debatable depending on who you are. There's some good Moon Knight runs, but he's definitely more popular than he's ever been. Cappuccio was really good, like a really good artist, and they moved him over to that Ultimate Wolverine book, probably for a good reason. It's probably going to sell more copies than this book. The artwork definitely suffered in this without him, so that may hurt the book in the long run. It didn't look nearly as good. Carbone, Cappuccio had a completely different style than anybody out there is doing, and it's different, and it worked for him, and it made Moon Knight look really cool. And this guy kind of copied it in like a crappier version. So sorry to him if he ever sees this, but we'll see how it goes. See how Moon Knight goes. But
you can send it to him.
Yeah.
What a happy start of the year, right?
Bring back Cappuccio. But this is a story. The Midnight Mission is that building that the team works out of, and it's alive. So it's like a building that's alive, which it's kind of weird, but it like houses the team, which is like Moon Knight, Tigra, 8-Ball, Soldier, Reese, Hunter's Moon. There's a whole bunch. There's a big group. They have like their whole team.
Like how alive? Like AI alive? Like
like a haunted mansion.
Oh,
but like the building itself is like alive. Like it can like hurt people that go in there that aren't supposed to be in there. And Moon Knight's whole shtick is that like he kind of sits in that chair and he's like, let me know what you need. Like, and rando people show up and they're like, hey, this guy's been bullying me while I go home from work. Like, can you guys take care of it? And they like solve problems. Lately, there's been a lot of vampire issues, but before that, they were kind of solving like these one-off problems. And right now, the current problem is this new drug on the market called glitter, which is, the glitter. So they're always coming up with like new names for new types of drugs.
That has glitter, right?
Weird thing about it, they figure out the only person that can help them like understand the composition of the drug is a guy named Hank Pym, who supposedly is dead in the Marvel Universe. Moon Knight found out that he was alive and didn't tell anybody about it. Now, the reason this is important to the Moon Knight story, you're asking yourself, why is Moon Knight and Hank Pym like important? Well, Moon Knight is currently smashing Tigra, who happens to be the baby mama for Hank Pym's child. And she may or may not be upset with him because she thought he was dead. I'm not sure. Maybe she's still liked Hank Pym but thought he was dead. So we'll see where this goes.
What a way to get out of a relationship. Fake your death.
Right? So, but yeah, she still has his kid though. Hank Pym's child. And at the end, they learn in like a newscast that everyone is blaming glitter on Moon Knight for selling the drug, even though he never was. And they renamed the drug as Moon Dust. So, as well it should be. Interesting.
Take you to the moon.
Yeah, it's still a really good story. I just say the artwork suffered on this one a little bit as what it used to be. Tigra was like drawn much better in other issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Tigra.
I can understand it. Modern version of Tigra. Oh yeah.
The old one was good too. She was
it
just
made
like
me scary.
She was just like, if you read the old comics, she's like randomly hanging out with everybody in a bikini. With like literally a string bikini, and everyone's like...
I mean her first issue.
No, all of it.
Wait, what?
Even when they're at the mansion, they're like, we're deciding who the next members of the Avengers are. This is like 1995. And everyone's wearing their regular outfit, and she's like, I brought a string bikini.
Pick me up.
Right? Oh, man. Last but not least,
Spoiler.
we got a brand new book, guys. A number 1. We got a war title. War books are back, guys, and they're hot right now. This is, did they say Helverines? Is it, what does it say? Oh, Hell Hunters.
Hell Hunter.
Hell
Fury.
Hunters, issue number 1, guys. This is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson,
I think they have Fury in there.
who is the current writer of Hulk, which I've been digging. Doing a good horror book.
There he is.
And then this is drawn by Adam Horman, which I'm not as familiar with, Adam Horman, but the artwork is fantastic inside. So I'm not angry at the dude at all. Plus his name's Adam. Might be why the artwork's so good. I'm a terrible artist, so that has nothing to do with it. Weirdly enough...
Corham. I thought
No, yeah, Horham. Did I say... It's Horham. Gorham.
Gorham.
Yeah, I did write Gorham. I wrote Horham. Gorham. Weirdly enough, the cover is actually Frank Martin. So he didn't do his own cover.
Huh.
But I don't know why that's like a thing. It's not like Frank Martin is like a known cover artist that I'm aware of. But the interiors are superb. So the book takes place in 1943, as all great Nazi stories do. There's a bunch of cool Nazis involved. There's like a group of them that are like escaping to Russia from the battlefield. Like a squadron of Nazis. And they come across like a demon. And the demon makes a deal with some of these Nazis. And kills their like squadron leader, but then like takes over the souls of the other Nazis, which is cool. Sounds like Tigra is a princess spirit animal. You know, like Nazis always getting taken over by demons is fun, and then they don't really show, but they seem to be like wrecking like the countryside or whatever, like doing some damage to it. And there's like an army plane that's like flying over. Apparently, probably Russia. I don't know if they actually say exactly where it's like flying over, but it's flying over, and these guys are getting ready to be paratroopers. And they're like, we're going to get down there and kill some Nazi scum. It's going to be awesome. We're going to just F all these Nazis up. Well, somebody used some like magic on them. It's like the Nazi guys use demon magic, and it like rips the plane out of the sky, and everyone gets killed except one guy parachutes down, and when he lands, his whole body gets ripped apart, and he falls in this tree, and like his skin gets ripped off, and he's all like effed up. And as he's dying, this other, I guess another demon, something comes up. I can't remember what it was, but it makes the Ghost Rider deal with him.
Okay.
And it tells him like, and his name's Sal Romero, and he's like, hey, if you want to sell your soul to me, I can give you the power of the Ghost Rider. And he's like, at this point, I don't know if they've ever been aware of the Ghost Rider, because it's 1943, so it's much before Johnny Blaze. And he's like, yeah, and that's how you get the new Ghost Rider, Sal Romero. So this is the origin of the new old Ghost Rider, because it's 1943. We did get to see him in the Hulk book, though. So in his first appearances in the regular Hulk series, where Hulk runs into him and they do a fun mission together, and a lot of people really like the character. He's really fun. And he's like, this is your best way to get back at the Nazis. The story's really short and compressed. There's not like a whole lot that goes on it. You get a cool origin story for him. You get to see some Nazis. And then you get introduced, as he's like trudging through the woods, he runs into Nick Fury. And Nick Fury's like, hey, you want to join our team? We're going to kill some Nazis together. Yeah?
We're going to go kill Nazis together?
Zach's favorite thing. And on his team so far, you get to see that Peggy Carter's on his team. And she's drawn really cool. On the cover, you get to see, I'm pretty sure it's Bucky. I didn't see Bucky in the book yet so far. And at the end, they allude to the guy who does the best at what he does, which is obviously Wolverine. He's on the cover, but not in the story. So he's going to show up in the next book. I think he's on the cover of the next one. So I really like this one. If you like war comic books, which I know a lot of you guys do, I have not had the opportunity to read too many. It seems like Marvel's kind of version of Creature Commandos maybe a little bit. You know, putting together a team of misfits led by Nick Fury to kill Nazis. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right?
Yeah, and that's probably where he loses his eye. Not from a cat, from Nazis.
Oh yeah, he did have 2 eyes.
Yeah, he has 2 eyes.
He does have 2 eyes.
All the better to see you while I kill you.
Yeah, check it out. I think I'm going to keep reading this one. I did, like I said, the artwork was really good, and Philip Kennedy Johnson knows how to write a story. All right, rated BS.
Yeah.
What do you got? Sorry, we're having a long episode, guys. That's what happens when we have a good time.
Fine Smart with Zach. And here's something. I wanted to bring this up because they have, in these titles that a lot of people don't know about, since we were just talking about the Golden Age, we're talking about pretty much the adventure anthology kind of Golden Age books that some people might or might not know about, but there's a lot of fire. Good girl pinup covers. And if you know anything about collecting, like, about 20 years ago, one of the cheapest Golden Age books you could get of, like, the superhero titles
was Batman?
No, it was Wonder Woman.
I know, I'm just kidding.
It's Wonder Woman.
Woman, yeah.
Wonder Woman titles were, like, cheap as dirt. It was ridiculous. And then, of course, the Wonder Woman movie came out, and people were after more and more after Golden Age books.
They ain't cheap anymore.
Decent grades. Yeah. So the price went up. So now, here's a series, and I will talk about multiple series from this publisher. But here's a series that is very overlooked. It's Jumbo Comics. And this one is Jumbo Comics 84.
All right.
And, got some pretty decent grade, mid-grade.
That's a great cover. Is that a lion on the cover?
Yeah, a lion on the cover.
Nice.
So they started doing the good girl stuff a little bit. Not at the beginning of the issues, but pretty much kind of towards, like,
oh, it's like issue 1 doesn't have, like, the good girl on it, not till later?
Like, it was basically, like, multiple panels. Though Jumbo Comics 1 is a pretty nice key. I'll talk about it.
Okay.
So this series specifically came about in 1938, and it ended in 1953.
Oh, yeah.
And the publisher was Fiction House. And Fiction House ran from 1921 to 1954/55 when they were shut down because they couldn't produce the books anymore because that Seduction of the Innocent book came out, and
did that shut them down?
Yeah,
okay.
They pretty much they couldn't go any further. I mean, they weren't making the sales, so they said, yeah, whatever. Like I said, this book's from 1946 in February, pretty dang old. The key titles in the Fiction House that you might want to take a look at, because there's a lot of amazing covers, is Ranger Comics, Jungle Comics, Planet Comics.
Oh, Planet Comics.
Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and Wing Comics, and of course, Jumbo Comics.
I know Sheena. Sheena's got some great covers too.
Yeah. Sheena has a lot of great covers. They're best known for, I already talked about that, best known for the pinups, obviously. That's a great pinup right there, or a decent pinup.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the key notable issues for the Fiction House keys is Jumbo Comics #1. And two things that's really cool, I didn't actually know about this, is that it's the first appearance of Sheena, the Queen of the Jungle, and it has the first interior art done by Jack Kirby. Jumbo Comics #1.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this one. I was like, holy crap.
Not that one.
Okay.
A few issues, cool thing about Jumbo Comics, a few issues earlier, I think maybe 10 or 20, not that long. Matt Baker.
Oh, Matt Baker.
Yeah.
Okay, like Phantom Lady Matt Baker?
I think so.
Okay.
I didn't write it down, but I probably should. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, some of the other notable keys is Planet Comics #15. I'm going to butcher this name. It's Dan Zolowich cover, and it's a beautiful cover. I don't have a picture for you, but next time I will.
Next time.
And another great cover. It's crazy because I believe it's more expensive than issue 1. Is Ranger Comics 1. Oh no, Planet Comics #15 is more expensive than Planet Comics #1, even though that's pretty dang expensive. And then Ranger Comics #26. It's an iconic cover by Joe Doolin. If you have a chance to look at that, take a look at it, you'll fall in love with that cover. Man, I really want that book. And it's not too expensive. Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. So this is a fantastic publishing company that came up with a bunch of great books, and the values are pretty cheap relatively for the grades.
For someone that doesn't own a lot of Golden Age books, and you're interested in getting like a good girl Jumbo comic or a Sheena comic in a mid-grade, like a 5.0, either graded or not graded, what's a reasonable price to pay for one of those?
Well,
like if you're looking at like, you know, eBay or something, and you come across one, you're like, oh, that's a cool Golden Age book. I don't have any, and it's like a mid-grade non-key.
maybe like a couple $100.
You think even that high?
At the
Okay.
most, maybe even cheaper than that. I mean, probably people have something like this listed for $250, $300, but you could probably get it for $150. Getting them raw,
If it's
50
raw, $50?
$50. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
what I paid for that one. I paid $50 raw, and then paid like $30-$40 to get graded. So I'm only in at $90. I mean, something like that. If it was actually like a DC or Marvel, it'd be like $1,000.
Oh yeah. That's like the hard thing to tell on those ones, but very cool.
Yeah.
All
Hopefully
right.
I explained that well.
Yeah, it made sense. All right. What are the books for tomorrow, guys?
Thank you,
Tomorrow
Princess.
is New Comic Book Day. It is the new year. Princess was saying she thinks most comic book stores are closed, so you may have to pick these up on Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, everything should be back to normal. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so first up,
Yep. And then
we've
check.
got Spider-Man. You may have to
And
show
it's,
me on
it's
this.
showing right now.
Is on there?
Oh, you won't be able to see it.
Yeah, because
I
it's
think
tiny for me.
I think I have.
Do you have the list? Where's the list?
Where's the
It's
list?
Did it show up on there?
It's on there, right?
Oh.
You can only see it in there. Yeah, I didn't actually keep the list over here.
I think Princess has the list.
I have it somewhere.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Awesome hanging out with you as well. Okay. We've got... Oh, this Miles Morales Spider-Man, and it doesn't have the number on it. I can't remember it. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Move on to the next one. No number on that one.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think it went on the screen.
It's on the screen. Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Oh,
it.
I see it. It's tiny on there.
Well, I can't get any bigger. That's the dimensions.
It's tiny.
It's gonna look bigger on the.
All right, and
Oh,
we
you have
got
to press the check. Yeah.
we got Spawn is coming out next week or tomorrow. I say next week. We got Spawn. I do have both of the covers on there. This is Spawn issue 360, so kind of a mild, milestone. Mild milestone.
That's good.
It's too many mild. I think I have both covers on there as well. If you want to check out the other one.
Okay. Next one, I'll keep the list. I'll keep a list. Check it twice. Wait, Christmas is over.
There it is. Okay. There's the other cover. So,
Yep.
and then after that, we've got, let's see, whichever one Princess puts up there.
Oh, you clicked on you zoomed it up. Okay, so you got to. Oh, this is weird. Hold on a sec. Click on.
I think it was on there.
Well, you hit by accident. Oh, there you go.
Was it different?
Yeah.
Oh, looks like we got...
Oh, you're showing the full one. Oh. Hold on a second. Oh my God. What's going on?
Dear God!
So you hit that one. I say for... Oh, you don't want that one, do you? All right. Okay, it's in there. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, and I like the full version.
Oh, we could...
Yeah. That's actually better.
It went back to the regular. Okay, we're going to do this full one after this.
All right.
It'll be
Okay,
easy
so
to
that was
press,
Ultimates issue number 8, guys, comes out tomorrow. I think it's like the introduction of the new Guardians of the Galaxy characters. So
Yeah.
from the Ultimate Universe, so we'll have to see how that one is. And then Superman issue number 3 comes out. Superman issue number 3, Absolute Superman issue number 3. So,
Okay, I'm going to...
and then we got Saga's back. So we got Saga issue number 71. Can you guys believe we're all the way to 71? I wonder when this is ever going to end. It's got that new spider type character on there that's friends with the main character's daughter. Oh, see, Bobby said he liked it better. Were you doing the full screen on all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we went back to the little.
So you click the picture again. All right. Press that red button. Okay. And then press
I
the
like
plus
the full
sign.
screen better.
The big one, yeah. And then click on the item.
Oh, that's way easier. Yeah, you can do that one. We haven't done that one yet.
and then check mark.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's
I
showing
like
that.
the full screen. Take it to the limit, guys. All right. We got Spectacular Spider-Man. I want to say this is issue number, like, I don't know why it doesn't put the issue numbers on them. Issue number 12? I think it's issue 12. 11? No, 11.
That's pretty good.
Should be 11. That's that new character, Elementary, is on the cover of that one. So, very, very cool. And what else does Princess have for you guys?
Negative. Red button. And then plus.
Nope, big plus.
Big plus?
Big plus. Huh? Oh, there you go. And then we got Walking Dead issue number 104. We got a sweet Carl cover on there. Walking Dead Deluxe. He's covering. That's the variant one by Charlie Adlard. And
Charlie Adlard. Yep.
I think two more. Let's see.
Yep.
Yep, that one. Yep. We got a brand new book, guys. This cover is ridiculously cool. This is Deadpool Wolverine issue number 1. I feel like they've already done this title, but this is going to be the new ongoing one. So it's going to be a continuation, and it's written by Ben Percy. So, which I'm super excited. Look how that cover is freaking rad.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Amazing cover. And last, but certainly not least, I thought this was a good one to look out for in case with the movie on the horizon. This is Sam Wilson, Captain America, issue number 1. Zach would tell you this might be kind of a money grab.
Yeah, the Red Hulk on the cover.
Yeah, literally Red Hulk versus Cap. So, yeah. Oh, Angel's liking the full screen too.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you like it better when Princess is fully on the screen. Oh. So we cancel that one. I think that was it.
I see. Cool.
I think it's still on full screen though, Princess. Oh, there you go. Good job.
Yeah, good job.
Vanna White of Straight Up Comics. All right. So, just to recap today, guys, hope everyone has an awesome, safe New Year's Eve and gets to ring in the new year with some awesome gains as always. Do us a huge favor. Hit the like button right now. Princess loves it when you do that. Subscribe, because you guys already are, but do it again if you haven't. And leave a comment down below. Let us know what your favorite comic book of the year is. Maybe your New Year's resolution, anything cool like that. And Zach, what special things you got for us today?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is you have to have a sound system, and you gotta play "I'm Happy" by that one dude that's really happy, and just dance by, play the song, and then "I'm happy New Year." Say "Happy New Year" after. Say "I'm happy New Year." Like do that for however long you have until the New Year, and just go into the New Year happy.
There you
New
go.
Year.
That's a good man.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, guys. Until we see you next time in 2025, stay safe and remember,
get those happy gains.